All right, so get this. Today, we are diving into, get this, problem solving.
Oh, problem solving. I like it.
With a twist.
Okay.
We've got these course materials from this behavioral psychologist, Gayatree Dipchan.
Okay.
And it's called Foundations of Problem Solving.
Foundations of problem solving, all right.
But we're getting like a sneak peek.
I like sneak peeks.
Yeah, into her approach.
Yeah.
It's not every day that we get to like dissect a course designed by a behavioral psychologist.
Right, yeah. You don't see that every day.
So this should be interesting.
Yeah, I'm excited. This is going to be fun.
Yeah, and I think it's really interesting because this Dipchan, she's not just an academic. You know, she's got like 20-plus years of experience, but it's not just in one area. Yeah. She's done corporate engagement, behavior change, even psychotherapeutic practices.
Wow.
Like, it's pretty amazing.
Yeah, so this isn't just someone who, read a few books about this stuff.
Yeah.
This is real world.
Real world experience.
Yeah.
And she offers, get this, customized services globally.
Wow.
So it's not just, one size fits all.
No, she's tailoring her approach. That's impressive.
Yeah.
So where do we even start with something like this?
Well, why don't we start with the structure of the course itself?
Okay, sounds good. Let's break it down.
Okay. So the syllabus, it lays out these 3 core lessons. Like the first one is, what is problem solving?
Okay.
The second one is types of problems.
Makes sense.
And the third one is problem solving frameworks.
Okay, so it seems pretty structured.
Yeah, very methodical, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Even just those titles, what is problem solving? Like, it's so basic.
Yeah.
But it makes you stop and think,
Right. Have we ever really thought about it?
Exactly.
We just throw around that term, problem solving, all the time.
All the time, but do we really know what it is?
Right.
This structured approach, even just at the naming, really hints that Dipchan she's methodical. So this might suggest like her approach is about taking these complex things and breaking them down into, smaller, manageable steps.
Which, honestly,
yeah,
most of us could use some help with that.
Oh, 100%.
Like, how many times have you been totally overwhelmed by a problem? Didn't you know where to start?
All the time.
Right.
Yeah. Happens to the best of us, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
But what's fascinating here is that, and maybe I'm getting ahead of myself, but it's like Dipchan's approach might go beyond just the practical steps.
Okay, I see what you mean. You're talking about the tagline they have?
Yeah.
It's all over the place in these materials.
Yeah.
Inspire, educate, energize. It's everywhere.
It's not your typical course tagline, is it?
No, it's unusual. Most courses, they just slap a catchy title on it and call it a day. But this
feels different.
Yes.
It's like she wants to do more than just teach us the steps.
Right.
It's like she wants to, I don't know, inspire us to change our whole mindset about challenges.
I think that is a really good point you bring up, because it suggests that, it's not just about finding the right answer. It's about empowering people.
Yes.
Through the process, Yeah. It's like she's saying, hey, you are capable of more than you think when it comes to tackling challenges.
Right. Forget just checking a box. She wants us to feel something, to be energized by the process. And I love that.
Yeah, it's a breath of fresh air, isn't it?
It is.
And it makes you wonder, like, how does her background, being a behavioral psychologist, how does that play into this?
Okay, so let's talk about that. How do you think someone with her expertise might view problem solving differently than, say, I don't know, like a management consultant or a life coach?
That is a really good question.
Yeah.
And I think that's something we'll probably unpack more as we go through, as we look at each lesson. But I think it's safe to say that, she probably brings a very human-centered perspective to it all.
Yeah, and that human element is apparent even in the course's tagline, which we keep coming back to.
Yeah.
Inspire,
educate,
energize.
Yeah, it's catchy. I'll give it that. But it's also really telling, because a lot of problem-solving techniques, they focus on fixing something outside, right?
Yeah.
You find the solution out there. But this tagline, particularly that inspire being first,
Right.
it hints at an internal shift as well.
Oh, interesting.
It's like how we approach the problem, it's just as important as the solution itself.
Yeah, I like that. You just perfectly transitioned us into taking a closer look at each of these 3 core lessons.
Oh, perfect.
So should we do it? Should we jump into lesson 1? What is problem solving?
Let's do it. Seems like a simple question.
It does.
But I have a feeling with her, it's not that simple.
Well, I'm ready. I'm ready to be surprised.
It's funny how, like, the simplest questions, sometimes they're the ones that,
They go the deepest.
they really make you think, And I have a feering that Dipchan's take on this whole what is problem-solving thing, it's not going to be,
Surface level.
Yeah, exactly. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah, it's like we're going back to kindergarten, right?
Yeah.
Like, what is problem solving? We throw that phrase around all the time.
All the time. But have we ever really, sat down and thought, what does that even mean?
Right, exactly. And this is where I think her background, her psychology background, could really come into play. Because how often do we define a problem based on, our own perceptions?
Oh, absolutely.
Our
right.
biases, our past experiences.
Lifetime. We're, totally clouded by our own stuff.
Totally.
Mm.
So, what if we're approaching it from the wrong angle entirely?
Exactly. And that's what's so exciting about this, because maybe she helps us reframe what we even consider a problem to be.
Right.
Instead of just jumping to those solutions, maybe it's about understanding the root of the issue, the why behind the what.
Right, exactly. It's like that old saying, give a man a fish, feed him for a day, teach a man to fish, feed him for a lifetime. It's like maybe she's not just trying to give us all these, problem-solving fish.
Right.
Maybe she's actually trying to teach us how to fish.
Exactly, to find those solutions ourselves.
Yes.
I love that.
And maybe part of that is figuring out, what kind of fish we should even be going after.
Okay.
Which leads us perfectly into lesson 2.
Okay, let's hear it.
Types of problems.
Yeah.
Because,
Yeah, because they're not all the same, are they?
not all problems are created equal.
No, not at all.
Some are really straightforward. Some are super complex. Some are because of, outside stuff. And some are, totally internal.
It's true.
So it makes you wonder, how does she categorize these types? Does she have, a whole taxonomy?
Right, like a scientific classification
Yes.
of problems.
That would be kind of cool.
Wouldn't that be something? She has a framework for just identifying the problem in the first place before you even get to the solving part.
And that framework, it's probably got to be heavily influenced by, by her background. She's probably looking at, how we think and how we feel, our behaviors, how that all plays into the problems that we face.
It's like she's adding this whole other dimension.
It's not just practical, it's psychological too.
Yes. And that psychological piece is so huge because, let's be honest.
We're not robots.
No, we are not. We've got baggage.
Yes.
We've got our own insecurities, our assumptions.
Everything we bring to the table.
All of our experiences.
Yeah.
And we bring that to every single problem, don't we?
Every single one.
Yeah.
And I think that's probably why it can feel so overwhelming sometimes.
Oh, totally.
It's not just about
Yeah.
the right answer.
No.
It's about, navigating all those human elements.
It's messy, which is a perfect way to bring us to the final lesson, right?
Okay.
Problem-solving frameworks.
Okay.
So this is it. I have a feeling this is where she gives us the actual tools, to deal with these different types of problems that we've been talking about.
It's like she's giving us a toolbox.
Yes.
But instead of, hammers and screwdrivers,
Right.
it's frameworks and strategies.
Exactly.
Each one tailored for a specific type of problem.
Yes. It's not, one size fits all, right?
Right.
It's about figuring out what's the problem.
Yes.
What's the root?
Yeah.
And then you pick the best tool.
Oh, I like that. And that, I have a feeling, is where her inspire, educate, energize really comes into play.
Absolutely. Because having all these different tools, that's not just practical.
Right.
That's empowering.
Yes.
Because it gives you the agency to choose how do you want to approach this.
It's true. It's like, yeah, you go, kid, here's what you need. Now get out there.
Right. Go be a problem-solving superstar.
Yes, I like that.
And you know what it makes me think about?
What's that?
How, this whole inspire, educate, energize
Yeah.
thing, it's not just for, a course, It's
Right.
it's like a way to look at everything in your life.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's not just about work or family stuff. It's bigger than that. It's like you're changing your mindset, you're seeing problems and you're like, "Oh, okay, this is a chance for me to grow from this,"
Exactly. Or even get excited about it.
Why not?
What if instead of being like, "Oh no, a problem," you're like, "Oh, a problem. Okay, let's see what we can do with this."
Right.
You come at it with curiosity instead of just fear and dread.
It's true. And think about how much we've gotten out of just these materials. We haven't even heard her speak.
I know, right?
But I feel like I'm getting so much from her. Just from this.
It just shows you how powerful a well-designed course can be, right?
Yeah.
When someone really puts their thought into something.
And their heart.
Yes.
And for anyone out there who has ever felt just stuck or overwhelmed by a problem, this is hopeful.
It is
This
hopeful.
is like, oh, okay, there's a different way to look at this.
Exactly. You have more power than you think you do.
Yes, you have the power. So as we kind of wrap up this deep dive here, just remember that it's not always about just the answer, right?
Yeah.
It's about how you get there and what you learn along the way,
Exactly. That's the exciting part.
the journey. Well, thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
Yes, thanks for having me. This was fun.
And remember, a little inspiration goes a long way. So until next time, stay curious and happy problem solving, everybody.